Did you know one simple thing you eat at night could be stealing hours of deep sleep from you? You might think it's harmless, a glass of milk, a late-night snack, even something healthy. But for many older adults, these evening habits are the silent reason they wake up exhausted, foggy, and still tired no matter how long they stayed in bed. In this video, I'll reveal 3 common nighttime mistakes and 1 powerful drink that helped me finally sleep through the night naturally without pills. It's something simple you can try tonight, and it might just reverse years of poor sleep and low energy. Don't ignore this. Your body may be asking for help in the quietest way possible. Before we dive in, I'd love to know where you're watching from and what time is it right now. Drop a quick hope in the comments to let me know you're here. And if this sounds helpful, hit subscribe so you don't miss more tips on feeling strong and well after 65. Let's get started. This could be the change your nights have been waiting for. Have you ever laid in bed for hours, eyes closed, body still, but your mind just won't turn off? Maybe it's 2 a.m., maybe 4. You check the clock, turn the pillow sigh, and wonder, why can't I sleep like I used to? If that sounds familiar, you're not alone. Millions of older adults in the U.S. from California to Maine wake up feeling like they never truly slept. Let me tell you something that might surprise you. It's not just age. It's how your body's rhythm quietly shifts after 60. Let's take melatonin, for example. That's the hormone your body naturally makes to tell you, it's time to rest now. But according to Harvard Health, by the time you hit your 60s, your melatonin levels may drop by more than 50%. That's like trying to fall asleep without your body's green light. No wonder it takes longer to drift off, or you wake up more often at night. I remember Mr. Harold, a retired bus driver from Ohio. He told me I go to bed at 9, but I'm still wide awake at midnight. He thought it was just part of getting old. But the truth is, his body had simply stopped giving him the right signals. And it's not just melatonin. Cortisol, the hormone that keeps you alert during the day, is supposed to fall at night. But for many of us, it doesn't. Maybe you've noticed the news is on, your thoughts are spinning, your shoulders are tight, your body's still in daytime mode even when the lights are off. That's why even if you're tired, you can't relax. Your mind races. Your chest feels heavy, and no cup of tea seems to help. There's another reason too, one most folks don't think about. Your body needs to cool down to enter deep sleep. Yes, literally. Your core temperature has to drop by about 1 to 2 degrees. But if your bedroom is too warm, or you eat a heavy meal late, your body stays too hot like a car engine that won't shut off. I once visited my Aunt Lily in Georgia. She had the heater on full blast at night and loved her stews before bed. She wondered why she was waking up every hour. Well, now we know. So what can we do? It's simpler than you think. Try dimming the lights an hour before bed. Set your room to around 65-68 degree temperature. Eat dinner early, light, and easy to digest. And if you're curious, you can ask your doctor about low-dose melatonin supplements just to give your body a gentle nudge. Have you noticed your sleep changing after 60? If so, comment the word HOPE below. I read every one of them. The truth is, your body hasn't failed you. It's just asking for a new routine. Sleep after 60 isn't broken, it's just different. And once you understand these changes, you can work with your body instead of against it. That's when real rest begins. Now let's talk about what you might be eating at night that quietly keeps you awake. You may be surprised by what's on your plate. Let me ask you something. Have you ever gone to bed feeling tired but somehow ended up lying there wide awake, wondering why your body just won't settle? You think, I'm exhausted, I should be asleep, but your brain is buzzing, your heart won't slow down, and the minutes tick past like hours. Sometimes the problem isn't that we don't get enough sleep. It's that we unknowingly do things, small, innocent things, that quietly block our own rest. Let me share a few with you. You might be surprised by how simple the fixes are. The first mistake starts with something many of us enjoy: a warm cup of coffee after dinner. Now I know what you're thinking, but I've had coffee at night for years. It never stopped me from falling asleep. And sure, you may close your eyes and drift off. But what happens after that? You wake up at 2 a.m., tossing and turning. You get up, use the bathroom, and maybe pace around the kitchen. That's not deep sleep. That's broken sleep. I once talked to Bill, a retired Navy veteran from Charleston, South Carolina. He was proud of how coffee never touched his nerves. But once he cut it off after 6 p.m., he said, "I started sleeping like I did back in '78 on shore leave." Here's the thing: caffeine can stay in your body for up to 8 hours. It doesn't always keep you awake right away, but it messes with the quality of your sleep. And after 65 deep sleep is already lighter. We don't want anything stealing the little we have left. The second mistake is dinner, more specifically late heavy dinners. I know how it goes. You're watching TV, you lost track of time, and suddenly it's 8:30 and you're sitting down with a plate of beef stew, mashed potatoes, and cornbread. It sounds comforting, but your stomach doesn't see it that way. Think of your digestive system like a factory. When you eat late, you're asking that factory to work the night shift. But your body needs the night to rest, not digest. I'll never forget what happened to a dear friend of mine, Mr. Donald from Wichita, Kansas. He told me about his grandson's birthday party. They had chocolate cake chili dogs and a little wine to celebrate. He said he went to bed full and happy, but woke up sweating at 2 a.m. Stomach tight, head foggy. Worst sleep I've had in years, he told me. And it wasn't the party, it was the plate, the solution. Try having dinner before 7 p.m. and keep it light. A bowl of veggie soup, a boiled egg with avocado, or some baked fish with a little steamed rice. Save the heavy stuff for lunch when your digestion is strongest. Mistake number 3 might surprise you. It's the screen you're holding right now. Your phone, your tablet, even your TV. They give off a light blue light that tells your brain it's still daytime. According to the Sleep Foundation, this blue light can delay your melatonin by up to 90 minutes. That's an hour and a half of missed rest. I used to check my emails before bed, then scroll Facebook, then read the news, then check the weather. By the time I closed my eyes, my brain was still sprinting. Once I started leaving my phone in the kitchen and reading a paper book under soft yellow light, I fell asleep faster. No more mental traffic jam. If you can try turning off screens 1 hour before bed, and if you must look at something, use night mode and turn brightness all the way down. The fourth habit is one of the quietest but most powerful. It's what I call emotional clutter. You know, going to bed upset, anxious, or chewing on some old worry. I remember Mrs. Eleanor from Boise, Idaho. She told me she always argued with her daughter around 9 p.m. They didn't mean to fight, but the stress lingered into the night. She said, "My body went to bed, but my feelings didn't." And that's exactly what happens. When we argue or even just stew and worry, our stress hormones spike. The body goes into fight or flight mode, and deep sleep, it slips away. Now I keep a little notepad next to my bed. If something's on my mind, I write it down. Then I tell myself, this is for tomorrow. Tonight is for peace. You can try that too. And if you've had a hard conversation or feel anxious, take 5 slow breaths before turning off the light. It doesn't fix the problem, but it calms the storm inside. You see, sleep isn't just about lying down. It's about letting go mentally, emotionally, and physically. And when we make these little mistakes, coffee late, heavy dinners, screen time stress, we don't just lose rest. We lose our mornings. We lose energy. We lose the joy of waking up ready to live. But the good news, these are all habits we can change starting tonight. Not with pills, not with fancy machines, but with awareness. Ask yourself which of these habits shows up in your evenings. Drop the word hope in the comments if you're ready to let one of them go. I'd love to hear what your nights look like. Let's remember your sleep is precious. It's not just time to recharge. It's time your body heals, your heart rests, your brain resets. And when you finally sleep well, you don't just wake up, you come back to life. Now that we've cleared out what's hurting your sleep, let's explore the one simple habit that helped me rebuild my nights, starting with just one warm drink. Shall we keep going? Let me tell you something simple. It's warm, it's yellow, and it changed how I sleep. I didn't expect it to work. I wasn't chasing magic or miracle potions. I was just tired, really tired of being tired. If you've ever laid in bed at 11 p.m., hoping tonight might be different, and then stared at the ceiling at 2 a.m., you'll understand why I was willing to try something so humble. It started with a recipe my neighbor's daughter sent me. She's a nurse in Minnesota. She cares for older folks with sleep trouble, and she told me, try this before bed for 3 nights. Just try. All it was, 1 cup of warm milk, not boiling, just gently heated, half a teaspoon of turmeric, and 1 teaspoon of honey. That's it. 3 ingredients sitting right in most American kitchens. Now, I'll admit the first night I made it, I didn't believe it would help. I drank it slowly sitting on the couch. No TV, no phone, just quiet. The milk felt comforting, like something from childhood. The turmeric added a little earthy spice. The honey gave it a soft sweetness. I didn't pass out or feel sleepy instantly, but something shifted. My muscles unclenched. The noise in my head, those endless to-do lists and regrets, began to soften. And somewhere in that silence, I fell asleep. I didn't even realize it until I woke up, and the sun was already up. That hadn't happened in months. No 1 a.m. trip to the bathroom. No 3 a.m. tossing and sighing. Just sleep. And not the kind of sleep where you wake up groggy and confused. I felt clear, like my brain had gotten cleaned out, like my bones had finally rested. So I did it again the next night, and the next. And by the end of that week, I started looking forward to bedtime. That little cup, my golden milk as folks now call it, became my signal to the body it's time to rest. You might be wondering, why does it work? Let's take the milk first. It contains something called tryptophan. Now you don't have to remember the name. Just know that it helps your body produce a calming chemical that eventually becomes melatonin, your natural sleep hormone. The Cleveland Clinic has confirmed that eating foods rich in tryptophan, like milk, can help older adults get better sleep, especially if consumed at the right time in the evening. Then there's turmeric, that golden spice often found in stews or curries. It's not just for flavor. Turmeric helps calm inflammation in the brain and body. And when inflammation is down, the nervous system can finally relax. Finally, the honey. A teaspoon is enough to lightly raise your insulin level, which then helps your brain absorb tryptophan better. It also gently nudges your body to produce more serotonin, the feel-good chemical. And serotonin is what your brain uses to make melatonin. See the cycle. I once met Mr. Glenn at a health workshop in Austin, Texas. He's 72 and had battled insomnia for over a decade. He told me, I've tried every pill, every pillow, every app. But once he swapped his evening bourbon for this golden milk and turned off his screens 30 minutes earlier, he finally got a full night's rest. Not because he forced it, but because his body finally got what it needed. Now here's the key. It's not just what you drink, it's how you drink it. I recommend sipping your golden milk about 40 minutes before bed. Don't gulp it while scrolling through your phone. Don't have the TV on in the background. Sit down. Maybe turn on a small lamp with warm light. Wrap your hands around the cup and let your body know we're winding down now. When bedtime becomes a ritual, not just a reaction to exhaustion, your body responds better. What if you're lactose intolerant? No worries. Almond milk works too. So does oat milk. What matters is the warmth of the turmeric and the honey. And if you're diabetic or watching sugar, talk to your doctor. You can always adjust the amount of honey or skip it if needed. The routine still helps. The power is in the pause. I know we live in a country of quick fixes, pills, apps, gadgets. But as we get older, sometimes it's not about adding more. Sometimes it's about going back. Back to stillness. Back to warmth. Back to treating our bodies like they matter. Let me ask you something gently. When was the last time you truly looked forward to bedtime? Not because you were wiped out, but because it felt safe, soft, and soothing. That's what this little ritual gave me, and it might give you the same. If you're willing to try it, comment the word hope below. I'd love to know if you're open to something gentle like this. It might surprise you like it surprised me. So tonight, just for one evening, make that cup. Turn off the lights early, put on your coziest robe, and give yourself permission to stop doing and just be, because sleep isn't just rest, it's repair. It's recovery. It's your body's way of saying thank you. And with a warm cup in your hands, you might just remember what deep rest feels like again. Not everyone can drink milk before bed. Some folks feel bloated, others just never like the taste. And for some, like my friend Carol in Idaho, milk brings back memories of being forced to drink it at school. So if golden milk isn't your thing, don't worry. That doesn't mean restful sleep is out of reach. It just means your body's asking for something a little different. And lucky for us, there are beautiful natural ways to help the body wind down. The first one is warm oats with banana and cinnamon. Sounds simple, doesn't it? But don't let that fool you. I visited my cousin Jim in North Carolina last fall, and every night around 8:30, he'd quietly fix a small bowl of oats. He'd mash in half a ripe banana, sprinkle a little cinnamon, and sit by the window with it. He told me it's not just the food, it's the moment. The routine reminds my body it's time to rest. And here's the best part. That tiny bowl is packed with gentle helpers. Oats and bananas both carry melatonin, the hormone your body needs to feel sleepy. They're also rich in magnesium, which helps calm the nervous system. Cinnamon gives it warmth and sweetness without needing sugar. According to Mayo Clinic, this combination, when done regularly, can truly ease the transition to sleep. But the key is not eating it after a big meal. Let it be your light snack at least an hour after dinner. Now, if you're more of a snack person than a bowl and spoon person, let me tell you about raw almonds. Just a small handful, maybe 8 to 10 is enough. No salt, no oil, just plain almonds. Almonds carry tryptophan, the same sleep-friendly nutrient found in milk. They're also full of healthy fats that don't spike your blood sugar, so you won't wake up at 3 a.m. with a racing heart or an empty stomach. I met Mr. Walter, 76, from Ohio during a wellness seminar. He told me he used to grab cookies or cereal before bed. But then he swapped that for almonds and warm water. He said, I stopped waking up hungry. I sleep better now, and I don't feel guilty like I used to. It's small, I know. But sometimes small is exactly what the body needs. And here's the third idea. One, I personally love chamomile tea with a pinch of cinnamon. It's gentle, it's warm, and it calms both the mind and the belly. I make mine around 8 p.m. after I've brushed my teeth when the house is quiet. I wrap my hands around the mug, sit near the lamp in my living room, and take those first slow sips. Chamomile has been used for centuries to soothe anxiety. It helps lower the stress response in your body, the same stress that sometimes makes you wake at 2 a.m. with your thoughts racing. Adding a little cinnamon helps regulate nighttime blood sugar, so you don't get those dips that pull you out of deep sleep. The Mayo Clinic notes that while these herbs aren't magic, they offer a reliable calming effect, especially when used in the same way at the same time every night. So friend, whether you choose warm oats, a few almonds, or a cup of tea, what matters most is that it feels gentle. It should signal safety to your body, a cue that says you can rest now. Not every remedy works for every person, and that's okay. You don't have to copy someone else's routine. You just need to find your own rhythm, something that brings you calm, something your body can trust. If you've tried any of these or planned it tonight, leave a comment below with the word evening peace. I'd love to know what your body responds to best. I used to think I was just a bad sleeper, that maybe at my age waking up sore and groggy was just how things go. I blamed it on the years on my joints on getting older. But last week, something changed. I gave my body a little kindness. A warm drink at the right time, softer lights in the evening, and a bit of quiet before bed. And within days, I wasn't just sleeping, I was resting deeply and fully for the first time in a long while. One morning, I woke up before the alarm, but instead of dragging myself to the kitchen, I stood up easily. My knees didn't creak, my back didn't shout. I made my coffee and realized I felt awake, not just out of bed, but truly here. That same afternoon, I took a walk to the park near our house in Madison, and for the first time in years, I didn't stop halfway to catch my breath. The wind felt kind on my face. My legs moved without complaint. I even smiled at a squirrel. Imagine that. A few days later, I found an old paintbrush tucked in a drawer. It had dust on it, but not for long. I opened a new sketchbook and let my hand move. Not perfect, not fancy, but peaceful. Then came a phone call to my neighbor Sharon. We hadn't walked together since winter, but now the breeze felt nice again and my feet felt light. We laughed, we remembered. According to the National Institute on Aging, deep sleep is tied to brain health, emotional resilience, and physical healing. I believe it. Because when I started sleeping well, I didn't just rest, I came back to life. The next truth is simple but powerful. Good sleep protects your brain. Now, I know most folks think sleep is just about rest, but after 60, it becomes something much deeper. It's not just about feeling less tired, it's about keeping your memory sharp, and maybe even keeping Alzheimer's at bay. Let me tell you about Ron, my neighbor in Ohio. He's 72, still drives his old Chevy pickup, still makes a great chili. But last fall, he told me he was forgetting names. Even simple ones, his grandson Ben, or where he left his glasses. He laughed it off at first, but deep down he was scared. Turns out he hadn't slept more than 4 hours straight in months. Up at 2 a.m., again at 4, couldn't fall back. He thought it was just aging. But here's what Harvard Medical School found. When you sleep deeply, your brain clears out something called beta amyloid. That stuff builds up and clogs the brain, leading to memory loss. Kind of like a kitchen sink that never gets cleaned out. Without deep sleep, those clogs grow. And over time, that fog in your mind, it becomes something harder to reverse. Not just memory, poor sleep also affects your mood. People over 65 who don't sleep well are more likely to feel down, withdrawn, even depressed. That's not just emotional, it's physical. And here's something folks don't always think about. Lack of sleep can also mess with your blood pressure and make you more likely to fall if you get up at night. So what do? We treat sleep like we treat our hearts. We build a bedtime routine like a good walking habit. Same time to bed, no TV in the background, a warm drink, soft lights, maybe a little music. That's how Ron turned it around. He started sleeping longer, felt clearer, remembered stories again. And last month, he even joined his grandson's school trip to the zoo. Sleep didn't just rest his body, it brought him back to himself. And if he can do it, I know you can too. Let's start tonight. So my friend, if there's one thing I hope you take away from today, it's this. Your body is wiser than you think, and with a few gentle changes, it wants to feel better. Better sleep, more peace. A clearer mind, it's all possible even after 65. If something in this video spoke to you, I'd love to hear it. Drop a little note in the comments or just type the word hope, because sometimes that one word is all we need to take the next step. And if this felt helpful, don't forget to subscribe, tap the little bell icon, and maybe share this with a friend, a neighbor, or someone you care about. You never know who might need these gentle reminders too. I'm wishing you a quiet night, a calm heart, and a morning where you wake up smiling just because you're here and your story is still unfolding. Take good care, and I'll see you in the next video.